It is 6:49. Your Smart Start here. Your top stories for Wednesday. Closing arguments will be heard this morning in the case of 3 former prison guards in New York charged with murder.
They are on trial for the deadly assault of Greece inmate Robert Brooks last December. Ron Spitzer is here live in the studio taking us through what happened on the last day of testimony. Ron.
Yeah, guys, once the prosecution rested its case, the defense teams announced they would not call a single witness to the stand. The ex-guards Matthew Gallagher, Nicholas Kiefer, and David Kingsley are charged with murder in connection with Brooks' death last December. They faced 25 years to life in prison after all 3 turned down plea deals before going to trial. The last witness the jury heard from was former Sergeant Glenn Trombley. As a supervising officer, he saw almost everything the night of December 9th at Marcy and didn't stop it. Trombley is the first person involved in the beating to cooperate with the prosecution. He'll spend no more than 4 years in prison for gang assault in exchange for his testimony. He admitted to filing false paperwork on the use of force report to, quote, protect my officers. While it's risky to put a defendant on the stand, legal analysts say it was a bit of a surprise to not hear testimony from any of the guards.
They can't deny what's on video, right? And so the idea of them, I guess my strategy would have been put one of them at least, if not all of them, up on the witness stand to do almost what the cooperator did today, Andrew, is say, look, I'm ashamed. This is out of character for me, and try to convince the jury that you did not mean for this defendant to die.
The defense did cross-examine the former sergeant, again working to minimize how each of their clients were involved. Closing arguments start at 10 in Utica. Guys.
Ron, thank you. And more top headlines. Friends and loved ones of the man shot and killed over the weekend after a birthday party in Rochester are determined to keep his memory alive.
It has only been 4 days since 39-year-old John Dempsey was killed, and his mom says the world will never be the same without her son in it. Dee Dee Anderson says there are many ways to describe her son, but the first word that comes to her mind is selfless. Rochester police tell us Dempsey was shot and killed on Box Street early Saturday morning. This after an altercation from a house party. When investigators told Anderson what happened, she said she couldn't believe it. And now she plans to continue saying her son's name until she gets answers.
I mean, if you're bold enough to shoot somebody, whether he was going to his car or by his car, you're a coward. You're a coward. God don't like when you take his people. God didn't take him. That bullet took him.
No arrests have been announced in this case. There was a balloon release in Dempsey's honor last night, and there are plans for a memorial service currently in the works.
One of the most wanted in Ontario County has been caught on the run in Pennsylvania. Dale Mosher, pictured there, is charged with grand larceny after prosecutors say their investigation revealed he stole more than $100,000 from the American Legion in Geneva. They believe Mosher also sent threatening letters to 3 people during this time, including those who could testify at an upcoming trial. The sheriff put him on the most wanted list after he failed to show up in court last month for a hearing. He was found and arrested in Hemlock Township, PA, Monday as he was walking into a Walmart. Although deputies believe Mosher did write the threatening messages, he has yet to be charged with any crime related to those letters.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that peace in the Middle East is dependent upon Hamas upholding its end of the U.S. brokered peace agreement. Netanyahu and President Trump expressed dissatisfaction with Hamas on Tuesday after they only received 8 hostages' remains returned to Israel, but that leaves about the remains of 20 or so hostages who were killed in captivity still unaccounted for. Israel said it would cut in half the number of aid trucks it's allowing to go into Gaza because of the delay of those returned hostages.
Your Sunrise traffic updates here at 6:53, and this just in. Got the Water Authority and DPW teams on scene in Minden working to fix a water main break that is on Cheese Factory Road between Quaker Meeting House Road and Pride Street. That area is blocked off as they are trying to resolve the issue. We'll get another update when that is fixed.
Local leaders call for more transparency after the Monroe County Legislature unanimously approved an opioid settlement with 2 companies worth up to $6.6 million. The settlement is part of 2 different lawsuits, one against Purdue Pharma, the other against a group of pharmaceutical companies. Officials say the money will go into a special trust fund for opioid response efforts. However, questions now raised about how exactly those funds are going to be managed.
I didn't explicitly ask for a line item list of expenditures in a spreadsheet. I assumed that's what I would be getting, but that is not what was provided. Instead, a helpful list of general categories was provided, but I think a list of expenditures via line item would be very helpful. So I'm again going to make that request, and perhaps this legislature needs to implement a disclosure requirement for how we are using these funds.
The manufacturers will pay a total of more than $24 million to municipalities all over New York for the next 9 years.
Happening this week, an exciting, eye-opening musical experience with musicians from all over the globe is back here in Rochester. It is the Gateways Music Festival. Artists of African descent at different stages of their career gather at Eastman's School of Music for what they call a family reunion. If you're going for the audience, it's a celebration of Black classical artistry. This week includes intimate performances, workshops, and collaborations with award-winning artists, composers, and educators. What you just heard from was a rehearsal yesterday. More information about tickets and the shows over at rochesterfirst.com. Final forecast there on this Wednesday. Here, James.
But not too bad out there, pretty quiet. We've got a decent looking sunrise here with clouds around now, but those are retreating. And next couple of days, temperatures in the 50s. A couple cool mornings for you, especially away from Lake Ontario. And then we see that number jump upper 60s, near 70 on Saturday, isolated shower. And then Sunday, we've got that rain coming in late in the day, but a lot of wind with that. I'm just looking at the wind speeds, maybe 30+ mile-per-hour winds on Sunday into Monday, which may bring down quite a bit of leaves this fall.
I've got a story about that. I'll share that coming up on the podcast. 9 o'clock, second cup of sunrise. That's on the Rochester First streaming app, or just go to our website and click the stream link right at the top of the page.
Yeah, just in case you didn't get enough of all that yesterday. Well, thank you so much for sticking with us through that and watching News 8 at Sunrise today. CBS Mornings is next, and your next up local update from us is in 30 minutes.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand. Plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.